Facebook streams going, or I'm sorry, YouTube streams going, and Facebook. And Run 309 podcast return. We are live.
In the beginning, the universe was created. This made a lot of people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad movie.
This is a video a friend of mine made. It's just like all Bloomington stuff, or Bloomington normal stuff, so it kind of fits. Yeah, it's cool.
Ever since I first spoke my silence, I just blew up like a
Audio
giant.
is a
I
little
know walking down the Louisa rain like a tyrant. Gushing like a hundred in these cities, please fall for the smiles and the vibrance. It's how I live, though. I keep it simple. How we treat each other daily is a symbol. The longest bridge is in the middle where we all can meet. Switch my colors overflowing like a symbols. I do it for community. Our opportunities, it seems, are just so few and far between anymore. But my expression of the facts of these actions, we can keep from tapping on the glasses in the war. Let's be aligned on strategy.
Yep, I'm sure
The mentality of one love keeps full of shine. Cause if we focus reality, it's built on commonality. And that's how we run a 309.
Well, scientists, you haven't learned to respect your elders. Time you learn to respect your betters.
So let's all squash this apocalypse lingo. You know we're out here for real, connect politics deal. We don't let our laurels rest on fancy silk pills. This is the Midwest, we stand big, I sit little. Let's add a figure middle to the spectrum for a second. It's magnificent by neglect and all this benefits.
This is Run 309.
From a much fresher perspective in which we also let the real for the success of humanity.
Hey, let's go eat this, homie.
This is what we know is true.
Watch party, which is good. We got 9 people watching already.
It's long overdue, but we can reach this world to shine. Because if utopia's reality is
It'll be a little
reality, that's how we run 309.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft Dreams apartment, this is the Run 309 podcast. The return of the Run 309 podcast with MJ Alleman. My buddy Justin M. Boyd is on assignment. Not really, he's just really busy. But my friend Luke presented me with a dilemma that the Union brothers are going through, so we wanted to get these guys on and talk about what's going on at Rivian. I have a letter to the editor dated June 22nd, 2020, and I'll just read this. It's Mike Rakes, who is another union member, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is his letter to the editor. This will just kind of set the table, and I'll turn it over to you guys. Rivian was to be a boon to our community with the promise of employment to our local workforce and economy. In order to remodel 3 general contractors and a variety of subcontractors were brought on site. One of the subcontractors hired by Durr USA presently employs an immigrant Eastern European workforce of 18 to 30 men here on visas to install tanks in a newly constructed paint shop area. This work is expected to last 6 months. The union building trades have 4- and 5-year apprenticeships that train qualified personnel how to precisely install equipment, whether it be grinding, welding, or fabricating tanks. There are American tradesmen and women who are properly trained, who are unemployed, while this foreign workforce is taking jobs from our community members. But it doesn't stop there. Use of foreign tradesmen also extends to carpetbagging electricians from Michigan employed by Lee Industrial during times of 50% unemployment in the state of Illinois, without giving preference to local electricians. Those workers will take their earnings back to Michigan rather than spend it here where we live. Tax incentives and abatements have been used to lure businesses to our community. These agreements allow companies to pay less than area standards and benefits to foreign workers in order to reap benefits. They also don't include language to protect the local construction trades. It is time to include protections for workers in our community. So, table set. Gentlemen, it's up to you. Take the stage.
Cool. My name is Jerry Kelleher, and I am a plumber pipe fitter, and we have people that can do the jobs that they're doing out there at Rivian right now. 18 to 30 foreign workers from Germany, and there's also some people that got jobs from also Michigan that are doing pipe fitting.
Yeah.
You know, and so they're taking the work that they do here, and they're taking the money home with them. You know?
Right.
We buy cars and we buy houses here in Bloomington, Illinois, McLean County, and we want to keep the money here.
We want to keep money here. And I'm sorry, I didn't introduce my guest. I'm out of practice. Jerry Kelleher, plumber pipe fitter, and
Matt Strupp, electrician.
Matt Strupp, electrician. Okay. Matt, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, and of course, you know, we want all people to work. Don't get us wrong. The problem we have is, especially now with COVID and the high unemployment rate, the Eastern Europeans that are here working on H-1B work visas. Well, the whole deal with a work visa, it's issued by the federal government. Right now, there's no oversight on the issuance of these visas. Well, this H-1B is for workers to be supervisors, do specialty work only, and they're not doing specialty work. They're not being supervisors. They're doing construction work.
So is this something that Rivian is getting away with? So they're bringing these people in, and you know, no disrespect to them. They're just workers. We're not trying to like say
Right.
you know nothing against them, but they're paying them less than they would have to pay qualified union people, right? Like
Exactly.
you guys have apprentices that can do this work, and they're paying them less, and the money doesn't even stay in our economy. So this is
Right.
our problem here, and last year maybe this wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but like you say, in COVID era, you know, we have high unemployment here, and it's very important for us to keep money local, and that's not what's happening. So let's back up a little bit. Rivian came, I think it's been like in the last 5 years, right?
Yes.
And they have been kind of a blessing to our community in that
Without a
they
doubt.
are providing a lot of jobs, and they say 80% of the jobs that they're hiring, or the people that were working out there, I think on, I forget the date, it was like June 20th or something. They said 80% of the workers that they have on site are local workers, but that's maybe not really true either, is it?
I would say yes, between 80-85% are local workers, but that we're talking. At one time, the job was supposed to be a $700-some million project, right? This is the entire job, all trades. Now we're told that it's going to be pushing $1 billion, probably more than that. So I know on the electrical side, I'm speaking purely on the electrical side, we've heard that it'll be upwards of $200 million, right? We have workers here, and I'm not just talking Bloomington normal, but guys that can drive here from Peoria, from Champaign, Decatur. We have some guys that live here that aren't from our local here in town, but they live here in town, that can do this work, that spend their tax dollars here in central Illinois. You know, they pay the taxes, they buy food, they own a house, like Jerry said, own vehicles, put their kids through the schools here. So we have this pool of workers, and we have many that are still off waiting to work. Well, now we've got guys here working that aren't from this area, whether it be from Europe, which they're making, even when they're getting paid a lower wages, they're still making more money than they would there, right? So can't fault a guy for coming over here and doing it.
Right.
I don't fault them at all, but I fault them being exploited, so to speak, taken advantage of, so that so their company makes as much money as they can, right? Well, when we all know that companies are in it for a profit, but our companies that hire the trades that pay prevailing wage, that pay living wage, they make money too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the difference is they make money and we all make money, right? And we all spend it in the community. And
So-
that's our issue.
Yeah, for sure, and I can get behind that 100%.
Mhm.
But now, how did this happen? Because I remember like when Rivian came, and there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, Rivian's not even, they've never even produced a car," which is true.
Right.
But you know, they are showing a lot of promise now, like with that F1, whatever, the new pickup truck, electronic pickup truck. I
Right,
think it got very high reviews at the Los Angeles Auto Show, whatever. But they are showing a lot of promise. I think Amazon and Ford, I think,
Yes.
are behind them now, and I think they donated like $1 million a piece, maybe something like that. But let's go back to when Rivian was looking at buying the Mitsubishi auto plant, and the town of Normal gave them a lot of tax breaks and a lot of incentives to come. They're like, hey, you know, you can, we'll defer some tax payments. They gave them a lot of stuff, but maybe they forgot to include this little clause that says you have to hire local help when at all possible. And maybe that was left out of the agreement. I don't know.
It wasn't left out. It was left out. Don't get me wrong. What their stance is on the deal is they always tell us that, you know what, we're trying to bring them in. We'll get you on the next one. We'll get you on the next
Right.
one. Well, they keep doing that, and they keep doing that. Well, then finally, when is the next one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When is it going to be? It's never the right time. It's never the right time is what they tell us. This isn't the right time. When's the right time to do it? When's the right time to put the protections in for us? You
Right.
know, and that's the issues we have.
And so I would say, you know, Rivian, you know, we're thankful to have you in this community for sure.
Right.
You are providing jobs. You know, I'd like to see some electric pickup trucks rolling off that assembly line at some point in the future. That would be awesome for us and our community. But Rivian, you have to do the right thing here. You know, we incentivize you to come to our community. You have to help us out too. You have to employ our local people, our local tradesmen, who
Well, and
are ready to do the work. It's not like you're not ready to do the work.
right. No, I mean, and we're skilled in what we do. I mean, a lot of us have worked on, you know, industrial, commercial, residential. We can do anything that they throw at us. So that's not a question of skill. We have it. Jared, I mean,
The workforce that you can reach out and get is big for us, and they're all trained. You know, they went through 5-year apprenticeship programs, and you know, there's probably 380,000 guys that's in the, you know, my association that we could reach out to. You know, and there's you know, programs where you could literally reach all them too, just with a touch of a button, and they could be here and they could do the job, and they could get it done safely and done on time, like the plant was built, you know, itself. You know, Mitsubishi was built,
yeah, and how
and there was a project labor agreement,
yeah,
I believe, on
there
that.
was, there was.
You know,
And that plant was built like in the 80s, right?
yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I remember like being in high school and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you know, Mitsubishi plant's coming. You know, let's get on there." But you know, when Rivian came in, you know, the 80s is a long time ago now. Like, there's a lot of updates that need to be done. You know, for them to start rolling those electronic cars off the assembly line. And I guess our point is today is we've got enough leave union out of it, like you said. We got enough qualified professional help here in this community who, by the way, is hurting, and we need jobs. We got a high unemployment rate, so let's employ them. That's what we're saying here, right?
Yeah, and what we do also is, so let's go back to, there's an electrical contractor out there that's from Michigan, right? They're bringing all of their guys from Michigan. And then we don't know what kind of training they have. I mean, we've heard that they are somewhat trained in this, but we don't know for sure. With our training, first off, we hire locally first, and then once all the local jobs are filled, and if we exhaust those resources, we hire. Then we look elsewhere, right, to bring in other people. But the thing is, all the guys that we have the same training for the most part through a 5-year apprenticeship. So it's not like, okay, we're getting some guy from Michigan here through the hall, and we have no idea what kind of worker or what kind of knowledge he has. He's gone through the 5-year apprenticeship. We know that he can do the work, right?
Right.
So we have all our guys are skilled because we all come from the same Department of Labor accredited training center. So, and it's the same way with these guys too.
Yeah. So that thing I read from Mike Riggs, it said there was like a 4 and a 5-year apprenticeship program, and that's like qualifying workers to be able to do this kind of work.
Yes.
So what does a 4 and 5-year apprenticeship program, what does that teach these laborers?
Well, you go talk about yours. I'll talk about mine.
Well, we teach them plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, HVAC. We want our guys to be very rounded. We teach them 10-hour and 30-hour OSHA courses. You know, we want to make sure that the people they work for make money. You know, so we're all on the same team. You know, the contractors, the guys that are out there doing the work, and everybody. So, you know, we just want them to be very well rounded.
Okay.
And so our apprenticeship, it's a 5-year program for the inside apprenticeship, which is commercial, industrial. So it's a 5-year program. We also, and they learn, you know, commercial, industrial, conduit, wiring, controls, fire alarm, temperature controls, so rigid conduit, which you find in industrial facilities, cable tray, which is mainly in industrial facilities, EMT, which is mainly in commercial applications. We do a little bit of residential still, which is Romex. And then we also have a 3-year apprenticeship for our VDV, which is a teledata, so Cat 6, Cat 5, cameras, security systems. They do some fire alarm also. They do like door access controls. They also do like nurse call systems in a hospital or a retirement home, a nursing home. So we have multiple different avenues, and it's pretty much, you know, earn as you learn. So you get hired on. You got to be a high school graduate. You have to have some algebra, and obviously you can't fail algebra. You can also have a GED. We also get college graduates. I myself as a college graduate, I got in after college. But the thing is, you have no student debt at the end. So I mean, you can't beat it really. It's a great deal.
So all this that we've been talking about is just kind of a long way of saying that there is a pool of local people here that are well qualified to do these jobs that they're hiring out to these Eastern European and to this Michigan firm, which I don't know. Like I said, it's not that we're against them,
Right.
but they're not getting the prevailing wage that they should be getting paid, like a well-trained, well-qualified worker hired right here would be getting.
Right.
So that's our problem with Rivian, and hopefully Rivian will make it right. We just need to call attention, I think, to what's going on, right?
Well, yeah, and that's one of the issues is most of the time when a big project, obviously we haven't had anything this big coming up, but most of these projects we sit down
I don't know what that is.
with the owner and the developer, and we talk with them and we lay out a plan. Well, Rivian has been very quiet, and they haven't really let us in on their plans because, you know, we want to know because we want to help them. So tell us about how many guys you think. What kind of projects are you going to be doing out there? Let's come up with a plan to where we can make sure, you know, okay, this is what you're going to probably see for the future, kind of plan for the future. So then we can take in more guys to train them, right?
Yeah.
Because we only select so many apprentices a year to go through our training, and it all depends on what the job situation is. Because you don't want to bring a guy into the program and then not have a job for him, right?
Yes.
Well, but we also on a job like this where we need to know how many people they're going to need so we can get the people in and train them because we have the resources to do it, and they're going to be the best trained for us, best trained electricians out there.
Our intern Reggie Stank just handed me a note that says project labor agreements. I don't know what that is. Can you tell me about that?
Well, it's the same thing that Mitsubishi had signed when they built that, you know, and it went nice and smooth. The project got done on time and under budget.
Okay, so we're talking about back in the '80s when they built that plant, right? And so the project labor agreement was probably an agreement where they said local labor has to be hired
Exactly.
first, right? That's what it is. Okay.
Local labor, and it has to be, they typically, a lot of times you can put in there, you gotta have an apprenticeship program to train your workers, prevailing wage. And so prevailing wage not only includes the hourly wage, it includes benefits. So that means so like in our wage package, we have an hourly wage, and then we have fringe benefits, which is your retirement and your health benefits, and that is all on top of your check, so it's part of your wage package.
Right on. So that helps you to be able to, go to the doctor when you need to, maybe take some paid time off, or, have some kind of nest egg when you retire that you don't have to, become a Walmart greeter and,
Right, and
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
no, but nobody also wants to go to a hospital and not be able to pay for it,
For
or
sure,
not
yeah.
have coverage, right?
I mean, that ruins lives.
Right.
It builds strong communities, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and we're seeing it now with
Yeah.
lack of health coverage right now. During the epidemic, or the pandemic,
Yeah.
people are losing their health insurance, and
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's going on right now. So we don't want that. We want to support trades and companies that that pay these benefits to these workers that they deserve.
And like you said, even more important right now during this pandemic, that we keep jobs local when we can, right? Because every other community is doing that too, right?
Mhm.
And of course they are, because at our core we are, back 100,000 years ago we were all tribes. Well, we're not tribes anymore, but we're cities, and in those cities, and in Bloomington Normal, we have to take care of our community. That's what we do.
Right.
So let's keep the jobs here, and it's not, we said it, I think a few times, it's nothing against these Eastern European people that are coming in here to try to make a living. They're doing what they have to do. But even so, if we're gonna let them come in, then let's make Rivian pay them the prevailing wage, right? That's kind of
Well,
what
and they're
we're saying
supposed
too.
to.
They're supposed to?
Well, not Rivian, but the contractors that they hired to do the work
Right.
are supposed to pay them prevailing wage. Well, there's no oversight on that. So there was a documentary done in 2017 by CBS, an investigative reporter, Vladimir Duthers, or I don't know if I pronounce his name right, but it's on YouTube. You can look it up.
Made in America is what it's
This has been going on. This has been going on for years, and there's no oversight.
So why is there no oversight? Or is that that's kind of an open-ended question, I know, but
Well, without getting into politics, the Department of Labor has been decreased in their funding within the last 4 years, and the people that they overlook that because the bottom line to these companies is get the cheapest labor possible.
okay.
They don't care where it comes from, as long as it's cheap and they can get it done.
I mean, I can kind of sympathize with that because I'm a small business owner, right?
Right.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, Rivian's in a community which we gave you a bunch of tax incentives.
Right.
Do the right thing by us, by the Bloomington Normal community.
Right.
That's all we're asking here, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, there needs to be more transparency in the visas. You know what I mean? And because all it is to save costs, really. And it's kind of taking advantage of people too.
Yeah.
There's no reason that they shouldn't get a prevailing wage rate, like
Right.
big part of America does. And
Right. If the job is worth, X amount of dollars, whoever's doing it should get X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Wherever they come from.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think we've talked about everything that we wanted to coming in here. Let me know if I'm wrong. Is there anything else you guys want to cover?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys coming on. Open door policy, like, we'll see how this goes. Like, we've had quite a few people watching, we still have 19 people, and usually we get a lot more as it goes. But if this gets a lot of interactions and people ask questions or whatever, if you guys wanna come back on, open door policy, we'll do it anytime you guys want.
Yeah, I guess last thing I want to say is the best way to go about it is you need to contact the city council for Bloomington, which I know that Rivian's in Normal, but we've had some issues in Bloomington too with the same thing. You need to contact the McLean County Board, and you need to contact the Town of Normal Council.
Okay.
Because these are the people that make these policies, and a lot of times they refer to the Economic Development Council here in town. They refer to them to tell them what to do on policy issues and what they should do. Well, they're elected. They should be the ones that, I mean, you can have those people helping you and guiding you, but you inevitably are the ones that make the decisions, the elected officials, not the EDC. The EDC should not be dictating what the town of Normal, the city of Bloomington, and the McLean County government's doing. They shouldn't have any.
100%. And I would go even further and say, like, I don't know, what was it, 24 months, 36 months ago when Rivian was coming in, we should have been present at the Town of Normal Council meetings, or, like you said, City of Bloomington, it doesn't really affect them, but we should have been there, and we should have been saying, hey, we need to have a clause in this agreement that states you have to hire local labor. I don't know why that didn't happen, but, you know, let's not let that happen again.
Right.
Right?
Right, because they say now is not the time. Well, now is the time.
Now is the time. Local labor, especially, you know, in 2020 when unemployment in our community is so high, and we need to find a way around that. Everybody needs to find a way to get a paycheck.
And this isn't going to go away, and we're not going to forget about it, and it's not going to be swept under the rug to us. We're going to, until something changes, we're going to keep putting it out there, and we're just going to keep putting it out there more and more and more.
Right, and we want to have Rivian in our community. Obviously, it benefits us greatly.
We do.
So we're just asking them to do the right thing.
Yeah, let's be good partners.
Yeah,
We want to be good partners with them, and, you know, it would benefit the town of Bloomington and Normal greatly, because you're gonna bring tax dollars
Yes.
Yeah.
right here and keep them right here. And
Yeah.
the guys that work here buy houses, they buy cars,
Right.
they take their kids and put them
100%.
in school, and they
Yeah.
pay taxes. There's more
Yeah.
tax money to fix roads and,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Rivian, keep it local.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff.
Thanks again, guys.
Hey, thank you. That was awesome. I thought I was going to be nervous.